Hello again, ACF members. Shannon again, here for part 3 of our video series on tips for using Zoom. At the end of part 2, I showed you how to schedule a meeting, and here in part 3, I'll show you how to start that meeting, as well as how to host the meeting, and I'll walk you through some of the key features that you can use while you're hosting your meeting. So we'll go ahead and get started simply by clicking the blue Start button here on the screen. And you'll see that it indicates that we are using the computer's audio and we are using video as evidenced by the fact that we can see ourselves on the screen here. So I've asked Lucy to join us so that I can show you how to manage the participants on your call. And Lucy would have received an invitation that looked very similar to what you saw in part 1 of this series. So you'll see that a pop-up has appeared indicating that Lucy is in the waiting room. And you'll remember that when we scheduled the meeting, we enabled the waiting room. So that's why you're seeing this pop up here. Had we not enabled the waiting room, Lucy would have just been able to join automatically without us admitting her. But we'll go ahead and click the blue Admit button now to admit her to the meeting. And it'll just take a second for her video to appear. It can take a little bit of time just depending on the participant's internet connection speed, what browser they're using or device they're using, etc. And in just a second, you should see her appear. There's Lucy. Hey! All right, so now that Lucy's here, we'll show you a couple of the key features for hosting your meeting. So up at the top here, you see that we can change the view. We're currently in what's called gallery view, and you can change to what's called speaker view, which I'll do here. And in this case, whoever is speaking, as long as it is not you, will appear down at the bottom of the screen in the larger box. And then any other participants on the call will appear up here where you see my video in a smaller box. I think that gallery view is a little easier to see, particularly if you have a good number of folks on the call and you have multiple people trying to speak at the same time. And to go back to gallery view or to go to gallery view, if your system started in speaker view, simply click the gallery view here at the top. Now, going down to the bottom, you can mute yourself by clicking the mute button here. And I'm going to do that, and I'll talk and see if Lucy can hear me when I click the mute button. So Lucy, can you hear me? And you'll see that it pops up and indicates that I am muted. It does remind you when you are speaking that you may want to unmute yourself. So that's a nice little feature if you are one like me to forget that you are muted sometimes. So we'll go ahead and unmute. So could you hear me there? Okay, so you can also stop your video when you'd like, and you may want to do this if you get a phone call or if you need to walk away from your computer or do anything that you don't want your fellow meeting participants to see you doing. And when you click the stop video, it will either show a picture that you've set up in your account, or it will display your name. And Lucy, can you go ahead and stop your video and show what it will show if you haven't set up a photo? All right, perfect. And you can rejoin us now. So stopping the video won't remove you from the meeting. It will just simply display something instead of your video. You can also manage the participants on your call by clicking Manage Participants. And you'll see a pop-up on the right-hand side of the screen that shows everyone who's on the call. So this is a good way to see not only who's on the call, but who is speaking. You'll notice that the microphone next to my name is changing as I'm speaking there. And you can also change the settings for those who are on the call with you. So let's say, for example, that something was going on at Lucy's house that was causing a distraction in the background and she hadn't muted herself. I'm able to click mute and mute her there. And you'll see that the mute symbol has appeared next to her name, that red microphone with the line through it, as well as over here next to her name in the video, and she'll see that as well. And I'll go ahead and unmute her now. There we go. So also in that right-hand side, you can chat with your fellow participants, and we'll test that out by just saying hey. And you can send your chat to everyone that's in the meeting, or you can choose one person from the list and only send the message privately to that individual. And you'll notice that it does indicate when you are sending privately versus when you're sending to everyone in the meeting. And if you don't want to view the participants or the chat window anymore, simply click those buttons at the bottom again, and that view will disappear. You can also share your screen with the participants on your call. So you might want to share a document or a photo, something that you might be working on together. So all you do there is click Share Screen, and then anything that is open on your computer will appear here, and you can click it to share your screen. We're not going to do that right now, but simply click what you would want to share, click the blue Share button, and everyone will be able to see what you are sharing. You can also record your call simply by clicking the record button here, and you can react to things going on your call with these reactions, giving a thumbs up or maybe a clap if you don't want to interrupt somebody or you want to remain muted but still react in that way. One more bonus fun feature, if you decide that you want to change where you are located for your Zoom meeting, you can choose a virtual background, and you do that simply by clicking this arrow next to the video icon. We're going to click Choose Virtual Background, and you'll see we've got a couple of options here on the screen for our virtual background. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to be in San Francisco for this. So we can click that, and there we are at the Golden Gate Bridge. And if we don't want to be somewhere else, we want to be back where we started, we simply click None, and we can close out, and we're back in our room. So I think that about covers all of the handy tips for hosting your meeting. Lucy, did I miss anything? Okay. Well, to end your meeting, you'll simply click End Meeting here, and it will show a pop-up that indicates that you are the meeting host, so you can end the meeting, but it will end it for all. So we will go ahead and do that by clicking the End Meeting for All, and we'll say bye to Lucy. And now you've finished up your meeting. Hopefully it went well. Hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to use Zoom, and we wish you all continued health and safety. We can't wait until we can see you again in person. Thank you.